You know, it's very interesting. John and I did not compare notes, but there's a great similarity. He just gave part of my speech, and I think it has to do with...
You told me to go first.
I did. What a mistake. I think it has something to do with the fact that we have now been married for 56 years and together for about 60, and I think there's something about our brains that our brains seem to be pretty much in parallel. So I hope you know, I know also that one teaching technique that works very, very well is repetition. So here we go. My speech. It's true, we grew up in Wisconsin, and we grew up in the 50s. And that was a very, very different time, as has been mentioned. The world was really much smaller, partly because the communications that were available then were very different. You couldn't tweet and Twitter and Skype and all that stuff and find out. You couldn't even, there wasn't even television. So you couldn't find out what was going on across the world and even across the state. So it was a very, very, very different time. And it was also a time when, as mentioned, where the borders of the university were the borders of Wisconsin, but they were also my personal borders. I grew up in Wauwatosa, and that was kind of my universe. The borders of Wisconsin basically were the borders of my existence, as John had mentioned. We did, when I was a teenager, my family took a very big adventure, and we went out west. And that was the first time I think I had taken a trip out of the state. Now, it was also a different time for guys and for girls. When John was younger and in high school, excuse me, high school and college, he and his buddies would get into old jalopies that barely made it down the driveway and take a trip across the country. Or they would pack their backpacks and a couple cans of Dinty Moore stew and head out in a canoe up in the Boundary Waters. My sister and I, when I was 18, were permitted to get into my parents' car and drive to the Dells and stay overnight. Ooh, it was exciting. But that was then, and this is now, and a lot has changed in between. In between, John and I have traveled around the world. We've been to all of the Paris and the London and the various places like that. But we've also been to many, many third world countries. And we have seen what the world is like. We've seen the United States, a lot of it on a bicycle. And when you are on a bicycle, you learn a lot about your country. So we've learned a lot about our country, we've learned a lot about the world, and we've certainly changed in the way that we look at the world. And so Wisconsin and Wauwatosa are no longer boundaries for me or for us, and certainly not for you in listening to your speeches and to hearing about your poster presentations. So now Wisconsin does have international borders, and it is a responsibility of those students and professors and teachers and everybody in this state to make sure they learn about the world and what it has to offer, and the programs that you are doing are an amazing way to involve yourselves on a personal level, so I congratulate you on that. Also, the other part about being a citizen of the world is that you are a citizen of this country. You are representing this country, and in so doing, you're learning about yourself as a citizen. And I hope you, as involved citizens, will also pay attention to the way this country is run. I hope you will be voters. I hope you will be involved. not necessarily out picketing up at the Capitol, but to be involved in your own way, however they are comfortable with that. So I thank you for that. Because another thing you have to do all of those things is to move out of your comfort zone. You have to move out of your own Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. You have to get out into the world and be in a place that's unfamiliar, where, as John says, where the food is a little different and the people speak a little different. And you have to know about those people, and you have to learn about those people, and in so doing, you learn about yourself. So I'm delighted that we have the Wisconsin Without Borders, and I thank you for the part in which you play in that. And now I'd like to take just a minute. I know that Nancy is going to introduce Bob and Sarah Rothschild, but I want to say a few words first. Can you see them sitting there nervously in their chair? They are actually good examples of a world without borders. They are living that, and you will hear about that in their talk. First of all, Bob and Sarah have been good friends for about 10 years now. And they aren't just friends, they are very special friends to us. They are friends with whom we share values. They are friends with whom we share laughs. We are friends with whom we enjoy dinners and all kinds of things. And they are also very fearless travelers. They have done a number of safaris on the Kalahari, and they have managed to get between 2 prides of lions on one of their excursions. But they have not yet been eaten. Therefore, John and I and Mary and Carl Gulbranson are being taken along in March as bait. So we are going to Botswana with them to enjoy not only the Kalahari, but also their libraries. So thank you. And Nancy, you can do the official.
Thank you, Tasha and John.